So can I share this? If you're going live,
Oh, we're going
you-
live right now. Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome. And Victoria Rubio is here from VR Success Services. Life happens, right? Kids, drop offs, traffic. So thank you for your patience. And, I really wanted to have Victoria on because I realized last week I was looking at some stats about the issues that we have in our local area: homelessness, poverty, low income. And I know that people are feeling the crunch right now with rising costs of groceries, and it's the holidays coming up. And Victoria is creating something really remarkable in our area. And I wanted her to share that with us and hear her story about why this is so important to her. So, Victoria, thank you for being here today.
yeah, thanks for having me, Tina. I really appreciate it.
So, tell us a little bit about the mission that you're on and why is it important for you?
So, okay, so this year I decided to try to fill a gap that wasn't being filled in our area. And I actually came to quickly find out that it's not being filled in many areas because I've received so much feedback. So I started a holiday gift drive for teenagers ages 13 to 18. The reason that I decided, or I guess the passion or what was behind that, is because I noticed probably for the last, I want to say at least 20 years, 15, 20 years, that almost every single main holiday gift drive that helps low income families focuses on children ages 12 and under, right? So if a family has a teen that's age 13, or let's say they have a couple of children, one is 13, one is under 12, the 12-year-old, the 11-year-old, the 5-year-old, they'll get gifts, but the older one won't. So in those families, then usually the teenagers just go without, right? Or just get the very bare minimum because it's just the families are already in a vulnerable position, right? So that's why I said, let me just try to assist, at least begin to assist in that gap because it's a thing, right? And I don't think people really realize that it's a thing until you start talking about it, right? And you're like, wait a minute, there isn't anything for teens specifically. So yeah, what does happen with that age category, right? So that's why we decided to do that this year. We're hoping to do it every single year. We're hoping it grows as big as the other um, holiday drives, with enough sponsors and things like that. But so yeah, that's what we started, and that's why we started it.
Yeah. And I mean, Victoria, I don't know if you guys know this about her, but she has 7 children and she's a
Yes.
business owner and she's a single mom, getting everything done and organizing this to support the community, which is like, it's so remarkable what you already have on your plate. And to be able to like contribute to the community in the way that you're doing is just next level extraordinary. I just wanted to acknowledge you for that.
Thanks. You know what though? I think that is the reason why I feel I have personal understanding, not just professional support and understanding. Because I've been in vulnerable positions myself. I've been in the situation where I needed to ask for assistance sometimes, and and that's when I experienced that firsthand. What the gaps were in the in that system, right? So, and also, I'm sure you know this. I don't know if everybody knows this, but I'm a social worker. So when I was working in the agencies that I was working in, and I would refer my clients to things for holidays or any type of assistance, again, it kept coming up. Like, this is something that there's nothing for unless you have a sponsor that sponsors your family or something like that. But generally speaking, this was something that wasn't being filled. So I do understand what it's like and what it can be like for a family of multiple children, or a mom that is sole support parent like me, right? To make it all happen, make all the magic happen, right? And sometimes you need a little bit of support, and right, and it's okay. And when it comes to your kids, like, you don't prefer the younger ones over the older ones, so let's try to just help everybody have a happy holidays, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was just, my daughter had a volleyball party on the weekend, and I was talking to some of the parents, and there's a few parents like me that are separated, both have really great jobs, But when you split the income with the cost of living right now and housing and groceries, even people that make good money, sometimes are just kind of getting by. And this is the holidays. Sometimes people get hit, and because they want to give to their kids, they go into debt,
Yeah.
and then it takes them a long time to get out of debt. And then what happens is, if something happens with your car, or rising electricity costs, all it takes is one little event to send people backwards months, and it's hard once you get in that hole to get out. So it's really incredible that there is something like this available.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I actually do know of more than a few moms who take out loans just for Christmas, right?
Uh,
It's because they don't want their kids to go without. So they, they're like, well, I have to make it happen. So they go and take out loans just to try to make sure that they have a good holiday, right? So, I mean, if you're already in a vulnerable position, you're not suddenly gonna, come across like things in December is just the same as every other month, right? As far as your finances go, if you're in a fixed income, or something that something's preventing you from um, getting more than you need, right? So like there's people that experience this from January to December. So December is one of those months where everybody just feels the pressure to do more for their families, and you know that's I think that's where a lot of like the holiday depression and things come in, and just people that are already vulnerable actually end up being more vulnerable to other things, right? So
Right, right.
yeah.
So I have two questions.
Mhm.
One is, for those of us that are, maybe have a little bit more to give, how can they contribute? And the other question is, for those people that really maybe know that they're in a vulnerable situation, but maybe they don't know where to go to ask for help. So like, where do they go? So two things: how can we contribute, and how can we get support if we need it?
So for our area, for Windsor Essex, there's this thing that 211 puts out every year, and it's the holiday giving guide. Holiday giving and receiving guide, I believe it's called. And so you call, we're on there, like we're on the guide. Like if somebody wants to give, and let's say somebody wants to give specifically to teenagers, somebody wants to give specifically to seniors, somebody wants to give specifically to a certain age group, somebody wants to sponsor a specific or a family instead of just giving generally, you can go and call or go on the guide or call them and say, hey, I'm looking to help teens. Where can I help them? Right? They'll let you know that we exist, right? That there's a teen drive this year, and that you can help them. And they'll probably give you my website. Um, but it's the same for everybody else, like for whatever category you want to assist in, and the same for somebody who's looking for help. You can go and call them or check out the guide and see who's offering what. I know a lot of the drives have specific deadlines. So some of them may have passed, some may not have passed. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that people, especially around this time, call and specifically ask, "How can I help?" And then they usually get put on that kind of like waiting list. And then when a family comes up, they let them know, hey, we have a family that came up. Would you be able to help? I've seen that happen. And I know for myself, I've referred many people to 211 when I was working actively as a social worker. If anybody wants to help us, we definitely could use the support. It's our first year. I think one of the biggest challenges we're facing this year is that not a lot of people know we exist. We have received some really good feedback, so I feel like it's going to hopefully grow, especially for next year. But because it's our first year, not a lot of people know we exist, so it's not like everybody's coming to donate. We have received some very generous donations, um, but we could definitely use more. I think one of my biggest things is I don't want to not have enough.
Mm,
That's like I lay awake at night like we need to have enough for all the teens that. So that's one of the ways that you can either help or get help is that 211 holiday gift guide. Um, and if you want to help us specifically, you can go on our website, or we'll be at Devonshire Mall if you're in the city or close to the city. Devonshire Mall live on location this Saturday from 12 to 4 at the food court with Cool FM. So it's going to be a big thing. I'm hoping to get big turnout, or even if people are walking by, anything that anybody can donate would be really beneficial. So
That's amazing. So when you say 211, is it a phone number? They just dial 211?
yep.
Oh,
So yeah, so we have 211, we have 311. This is Windsor Essex. I know you have a wider reach than Windsor Essex. So this is for Windsor Essex County, Ontario, and Canada. So
okay.
211. Yeah, it's like it's for city information for whatever's going on in the city, but they have it's called a holiday. I'm pretty sure it's a holiday giving and receiving guide.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, if you're watching right now, I would just encourage you, maybe share this video on your platforms so that if there are people in your local, on your Facebook pages or LinkedIn, wherever you're watching this from, maybe we can help, we can support Victoria to spread the word this way. Share this video. I know there are so many giving, generous people in our community that are just open to giving this time of year, want to give back. So maybe you have some of those people in your network, or maybe you have people in your network that need support. So we want to make sure that they know that there is an opportunity for them to contribute, to receive, and that 211 is available for them to just learn more information. I plan on being there, Victoria. I want to support you. I want to go
Thanks.
out. I might recruit some people too to come out and support and share the word. But is there anything else you would like to say to the people that are watching, that are listening right now, to support this cause?
I think just generally speaking, just there's a lot lacking for services when it comes to that age category. And I think our teens, a lot of times get overlooked. Like they literally have the future on their shoulders, and there's so much that we could do to show them that they are valued and valuable. And even little things like this, like counting them in for gift drives, like I think makes a difference for them because somebody thought about them. They're not forgotten another year. And it's not just around Christmas time. I think when you start really paying attention to what's out there, or in this case, what's not out there for them, then you realize they're a vulnerable category on their own. So I just feel any support that we can offer them is definitely beneficial, but it will also be noticed. And when you feel cared for, you care more. So I think it'll be a bigger impact than just giving them some gifts for Christmas.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
absolutely. And there are so many kids that are still dealing with the impact of COVID and isolation and,
Yeah.
depression and anxiety, I heard, is crazy off the wall right now.
Yeah.
So the holiday season doesn't make that any easier. So, Victoria, I just really want to say thank you for spearheading this, for, taking a stand for what's possible. I wish you the best of luck um, and making this successful. And I know as a community, we can pull together and make this miraculous. So thank you again for what you're doing for our
Yeah,
community and teens.
thank you so much for having me on here. And trying to help spread the word, because it really does help. Little things like this are big things. Like they really, really help and assist to get the word out, and that's everything. So I'm not sure. Do you want me to say the website, or do you want to post it?
I dropped the link in the show
Okay,
notes.
good. Awesome.
So there's a link to Victoria's website where there's more information about how you can contribute, how you can give a donation right on our website. Any amount definitely counts. So that is definitely in the show notes. If you guys,
There's also a wish list. There's
oh,
also a teen wish list. Yeah, because I know sometimes people have a hard time knowing what am I going to get teenagers. They only want electronics, and we made it like super easy. Like you can pick some really cool stuff from the wish list that are not even that expensive, but they're still nice, right? So
yeah, amazing.
okay.
Well, thank you again, everyone, for watching. If you share this, I thank you in advance for, just being that person that's willing to put themselves out on the line to make a difference in our community. So thank you. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I love you guys. Happy holidays. I'll see you back next week. Mwah. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Tina. Bye, everyone.